Hey, thank you for your time, first off, and thanks for listening to my email in this format. I honestly wanted to ensure that you got my tone, most especially out of this message, because I am going to start off by saying thank you, and that I appreciate your patience with me that day. Just to be clear and direct, that was a day that I experienced a woman of color, a medical professional, use her power over me. Plain and simple. That was an act of racism. I think I've included a screenshot of my paperwork that I ordered, and perhaps a link to just one person that can vouch for my character, my background, my work ethic, and the fact that I am quite passionate about ensuring that children of color are respected. That's always been my focus. I believe I told you what I do and what I did for a living. At the moment, I'm forced into a small mini retirement here because of sickness. And let me tell you, looking about 10 to 15 years younger and entering a world of being a sick woman of color, it's been a massive eye-opener for me. And don't think that I'm going to rag on all of the white doctors and nurses that have treated me, this and that. No. The first group that typically causes damage to people of color are other people of color. Yes, people of color. Yes, black women such as Maria Barnwell are capable of racism. Absolutely. My verbalizing her actions most likely isn't what Maria Barnwell's type would appreciate. The way I see it, filing complaints against individuals such as Maria Barnwell ensures that people of color that come across her in the future, that are less capable of defending themselves, that don't have medical director friends, are treated just as important as those of us that do. I believe, security guards, sir, you witnessed Maria Barnwell cackle out loud during a moment that I was pointing out the lack of professionalism. I believe the medical assistant laughed soon thereafter. It's a domino effect. And it was much easier for a woman of color to put her thumb on me than a white doctor in that space. These tokens will rise up within an area that typically is more difficult for people of color to enter. And not only will they rise up, but they will kick down to any other person that's trying to get at the same level as them, or at the very least be more supportive of their white comrades than their own. I'll also go on to state that men of color treat white women with more respect than they do women of color. I think maybe my words might surprise you, seeing that I'm focusing on my own group, but understand that that is the type of person I have been privileged to grow up as. Add the fact that I also work with people, children, teenagers. Know that my ethics, they're straight, they're clear, and they're consistent. Maria Barnwell is a confused token. My appearance as being a woman of color close to 40 but looking more like a college freshman was one of the factors that day between women of color. Plain and simple. And I'm sure that you could probably put two and two together after seeing me. It's very unfortunate that something that my appearance influences some females in such a way, but it's also very telling of what, honestly, individual people are simply about themselves. You'll see a lot of support for each other out there on the picket lines against you guys, police officers. And then the same people of color will go back to their work places, their homes, and continue to keep each other down. Confuse people of color. In the same breath, I will say that there comes a point where a community is also fed up with not just being lower on the hierarchy scale, but being ignored to a point where, quite literally, being murdered on camera is no big deal, depending on who's doing the murdering.